I'd like to now introduce, I don't like cliches, I'm not going to say your better half, so I'll let you guys debate that. Avrami, father of Yocheved.
L'chaim, everyone. Before I get into the bulk of my remarks, I want to just say a few thank yous. First and foremost, I actually want to thank Simon that you've been a tremendous support from the very beginning and through it all, and even tonight. I guess I just got lucky by marrying Dini that you're part of this family and I could get a freebie, as it were. And of course, Shandy, we appreciate your support always, and we'll never forget all the sorting that you did. Moving on, I want to first thank my wife. I know normally that these kinds of thanks are at the end, but I want to get my thanks in at the beginning. So I want to thank my wife, my soulmate. I don't know how I could have done this without you. You're my calm, you're my rock. I don't think there's another woman on the planet who would tolerate my craziness, my catastrophizing, my quirks, my idiosyncrasies. How lucky I am. Right, Hoodie? Yeah. See, it says here, right, Hoodie? That's what it says over here. Dini, I'm sure our bond will strengthen. I cannot do this without you. My sons, Levi. My very good friend Chach calls you know what he calls you? He calls you a plodder. Plodder. You do what has to be done. You work hard, you're intelligent, thoughtful, and kind. Responsible, well-liked, handsome. You live in the no BS zone. You have worked hard to get where you are. You're going to make a great lawyer. You're balanced. You live in the real world, yet you are firmly connected to your roots. You're a chassid. You are and will always be Gej. Any takers? The word Gej is a Russian word that means root, which means that Levi comes from aristocracy. Yehuda, I look at you as a traveler. There's actually a show about travelers with a capital T. You seek, you question. Truth is everything to you. You have a multifaceted personality, as Yocheved described. You work hard and you play hard. You will devour a Rashi Sikha and then escape to the local laundromat so you can watch the Super Bowl. With a quick detour to the local liquor store for a six-pack. Immi Anochi B'Tzara. I stand together with you in our shared pain. I want you to know that. This has been very difficult for you as it has been for me. Your sadness is my sadness. Your joy is my joy. I pledge to do all I can to travel this road with you. Let us support one another. There are, I'm sure, great memories to be formed, and I'm excited about the possibilities. Let's talk about my family, the Lipskers. The Lipskers have been there with us every step of the way, through Yocheved's journey and now. Dini has the most amazing parents and siblings. Throughout this month, meals, errands, taking care of stuff, did not have to lift a finger. I consider myself to be very fortunate. Take note, kids, marry into a good family. By the way, I don't understand shviga jokes, just saying. The Geraris, Ima, the matriarch of the family. You and Yocheved connected beautifully. She always looked forward to your visits. She especially enjoyed the time she spent with you in South Africa. Emma, we wish you lange, gute, süße Jahren. You should have continued nachrichts from your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Chayla, you're our family, Rebbitzin. I also want to mention, that's true, right? I also want to mention that Chayla's family, the Rubashkins, have been an amazing source of support and comfort. Rachalea and David, is David here tonight? David? You left? Rachalea and David, you're one of my favorite couples. I can count those on one hand. My late brother Yossi, we miss you. Who doesn't? I'm sure you and Yocheved are chilling. Ask him about Paganini's first violin concerto. I'm sure he can still sing it note for note. In your honor, Yossi, and to the chagrin of Dini, I continue to wear white socks. Give some salt. My sister, Esti, from afar, you've always been there. Michal, or Michaeli as he's known to us, you are proof that a Gerari can be a normal human being. Your wisdom, your sense of humor, your unique, well-grounded, hashkafic attitudes. Chana, your presence here is fortuitous and fortunate. You're now a Bobby. That's weird. We're grateful that you're here. Obrigado. Chevi's family, you're all amazing. An extension of our immediate nuclear family. I want to especially thank Menachem and Hudi. Menachem, you are simply awesome in every way. Where's Menachem? You're simply awesome in every way. My respect for you is more than you'll ever know. We appreciate you being here for us. And Hudi, what can I say? You're an awesome sister to Dini. Yossi Langzam. I don't know, where is he? Is he here? Oh, there you are. I don't know how to thank you for your love and ever-present support. You make and made all the difference. From day one, you held us and supported us in ways that are impossible to describe. We will never forget this kindness. I hope to pay it forward. Even before this tragedy, I wrote about this concept of paying it forward on social media, and I hope to be blessed with the opportunity to pay it forward. You put this event together as it were your own. At the drop of a hat, you deliver, and that's saying a lot for a busy tycoon as yourself. I wish for you, Sarla, and your family all the best that life has to offer. Gesund, nachas, parnasa. You are most definitely one of the good ones. Through this ordeal, we also learned that you and alcohol are friends. Yes, family is family. Moshe, I don't know if he's here now, Moshe Schmuckler, both in your capacity as a member of the Chevra Kadisha and a brother-in-law, you were and are there in every way. You took care of all the little details. I'm so jealous of your super chilled personality, something that I will never, ever achieve in life. We thank you. The extended community, those that came, those that wrote, those that shared your stories in the sincere hope it would bring us a measure of comfort. It did. You opened your hearts to us, to comfort us, to participate in our healing. We will forever be grateful for this. Yocheved's friends, some of whom are here tonight. They're still here tonight, right? Francesca, are you still there? Oh, she's there, okay. Yocheved had amazing friends. This we always knew. All the way from elementary school, high school, and college, she was adored, and she adored. She lit up a room. Everyone knew it. She did not. Strangers. This took the form of several exchanges of folks who reached out to express their condolences, all religions and backgrounds, all ages, reaching out to us on social media with the most heartfelt, beautiful messages of strength and faith, stories of personal suffering, offers of material assistance, very, very humbling. Have a restored respect for humanity. Es chatoai ani maskir hayom. My transgressions do I mention today? No, friend, this is not a Catholic confessional. I need to come clean. I'm a little bit of a renegade. At the Levaya, when it came time for me to recite Kaddish, I paused. I hesitated in the middle. I'm sure everyone was thinking I was having an emotional moment and I was getting choked up. This is not true. Instead, intentionally, in my mind, I took a few seconds to sing Bob Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door. I was considering doing it aloud, but didn't want to push it, so I did it in my mind. When Yocheved graduated elementary school, I handed her a hard drive of music filled with the music I love. Her music education, if you will. She took to it. Bob Dylan, had a profound effect on her, so much so that she would show me Dylan songs I had not known, and I thought I knew all of them. At a press conference in San Francisco, this following anecdote is something that Yocheved and I really resonated with us. At a press conference in San Francisco, Bob Dylan was asked by a reporter, would you say that the words are more important than the music? Bob Dylan, of course, was known as one of the most brilliant lyricists. And he answered, the words are just as important as the music. There would be no music without the words. For Yocheved, who was a great writer in her own right, this resonated greatly. Lyrics, words, the point that words have their own rhythm, meaning, and poignancy. And when poetry and music are combined, it creates a space of supreme connection and greatness. There would be no music without the words. I can't remember a lyric. Yocheved remembered it all. She knew all the words to American Pie by Don McLean, which is a very long tune. I'm only going to quote an excerpt. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how the music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had the chance, my chance, that I could make those people dance. And perhaps, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried. When I read about his widowed bride, something touched me deep inside the day the music died. Well, Yocheved, I will say that for me, to be honest. December 22nd was the day that, in a way, the music died. I'm thankful that my sons have great taste in music. They both have an appreciation and a sensitivity for the music that I adore. Levi's taste is mature and developed. You're still trying to teach me about areas of music I have no understanding of. Perhaps one day I'll get it. Don't give up on trying. Yehuda, your education is developing, and I'm in awe of your interest in an eclectic variety of styles and genres. I show you stuff and you're, wow, that's awesome. I'm not referring to Nichayach, don't worry. I don't say it often enough, those are proud moments. Dini, you always tell me that were it not for me, you would not have been introduced to the world of great music. You're not a musician, and I love it. I've always tried to not define myself as a musician, but rather as someone who happens to be held captive with the beauty and the pain of great music. I cannot imagine being married to a musician. So thanks for being my partner in all of this. And I'm sure everyone knows the joke about the couple that goes to a psychologist, and the wife says to the psychologist, "My husband, he never tells me that he loves me." And the psychologist turns to the husband and says, "No, indeed, what's up?" And the husband says, "Well, I married her. I told her I loved her then, and if anything changes, I'll let her know." So perhaps I should tell you more often, they tell me. Who knows? Yocheved, your taste and appreciation for music ran very, very deep. It played a very important role in your life. You knew how to listen. You devoured all that music has to offer on a daily basis. You were my muse when I had writer's block. You loved every genre of music. Quoting from a Facebook post of mine that I wrote recently, I wrote, "While many of your friends in high school would listen to top 40 hits, you would introduce him to Ella Fitzgerald, Satchmo, Nat King Cole, Queen, Sting, Led Zeppelin, and others. You introduced me to PMJ and Walk Off the Earth. We discovered the Petersons together. And you would eagerly await any of their new releases. You loved Edie Brickell, Paul Simon's wife. You loved Simon Garfunkel, of course. Edie, and together with Steve Martin, continued to create memorable music. Bluegrass had a special place in your heart. You especially connected to Jacob Collier. I can hear you singing his Hideaway. Right, guys? You described how this tune would soothe your soul. We both became massive fans of what is to us the finest klezmer band in the entire world, Dobra Noc. Your dream was for them to play your wedding. Of course, you were a fan of, as I am, Gunhild Carling, Swedish multi-instrumentalist and vocalist. It made me so proud that your interest in music was so broad and inquisitive. Yocheved, we no longer have the opportunity to spend the hours watching music, listening, imagining, celebrating the greats. All we have now are words, as Bob Dylan had quoted. And the words will be our music. You've knocked on heaven's door. A little birdie told me that they let you in with open arms. So let's get to it. Mein Neumar man nedaber. What will we say? What can we speak of? I always knew you were awesome, beautiful, intelligent, super educated, super sensitive to others, a great friend. You were kind, you were courteous, respectful, an amazing daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. You helped others, often at the expense of helping yourself. I felt close to you. I know you did too. Did we butt heads? Most definitely. I know now that that was a function of us trying to help each other the best way we knew how. We loved each other. There were profound moments, peaceful moments, where we understood each other. We guided one another. We processed each other's flaws. We understood the imperfection of the journey. And like recorded fret noise on a guitar, we both understood that life would otherwise be dull, ordinary without it. Hugs. As Fran had mentioned, you're the best hugger. Being hugged by Yocheved was like being hugged by no other. You enveloped those whom you embraced with your total being, body and soul. I miss those hugs. I really, really miss those hugs. You loved your cousins, and they love you. You formed special connections with the younger cousins, especially like Leviad. Like these, would you like some more? There's a whole bottle there. You formed special connections with the younger cousins, especially like the Sandhouses, the Langzams, Schmucklers, and of course you had a very special connection with Esther Deitch. Roosevelt, excuse me. Dogs, your passion. You were a different person around dogs, at peace. You seemed to connect with dogs in a way that you found difficult to do so with humans. I regret that we were not able to get you the dog you most certainly would have loved unconditionally. You were especially fond of Zoe, Baschani, and Avrami Zuns. We will miss Zoe's visits. You fought with your own connection to God and spirituality. You were not rebellious. You were not angry. You were merely envious of those that seemed, in quotes, to have their connection to God wrapped up in a neat package. But who truly was connected in that way? You or us? I will quote now from an email that, a scheduled email that we received about 14 hours after her passing, which is a very, very long email. I'm going to quote the following. She writes, "My connection with God is fleeting. When I can connect, I am so overwhelmed with love and gratitude that they spill over into tears until I can no longer feel at all. I don't like going to shul or similar environments because I have to hold back my true feelings. I have to hold back my raw emotion from turning into heart-wrenching cries. I cannot make a scene in public. End quote. Let's take a moment to reflect on that and learn from Yocheved the huge lesson we are being taught. Let us always give pause before we judge the seemingly unaffected. Let's endeavor to enter the realm of their consciousness and join in on their walk to the promised land. Perhaps we'll ride on the coattails of the forgotten, the lost, the searchers, the wanderers. I know now that we should look to them for mentorship, not the reverse. It's the custom of many Jews to bench their children every Friday night. Chabad custom is to do it Erev Yom Kippur, on the holiest day of the Jewish year. You connected with this practice and you asked that we do it every Friday night, as some do. We did. Extra bracha, why not? Again, these were special moments of bonding. I'll always miss and treasure this. Boys, if you want to continue this practice and tradition, I'm in. Rosh Hashanah. You were away this year in treatment. In fact, you were away the entire Tishrei. I wrote to you in part in an email. Quote, this is what I wrote to Yocheved. We will be going to Shul. We will listen to Kiras Torah and hear the shofar and experience Birchas Kohanim. Just know that although you will not be physically here, I believe that it is God's will that you are there. I don't view your observance of Yom Tov any different to ours. You are where you are supposed to be. You will be celebrating Rosh Hashanah as you should. And further, we are taking you to Shul with us. Believe me, I will be thinking of you every minute more than ever. End quote. I sent you a shofar. I think you actually asked for it. You learned how to blow the tones as only a daughter of a musician can. Against the backdrop of the Utah mountains, you blew the tekiyas. You had to get special permission for that, by the way. You told us that you broke down full of emotion and that it was the most meaningful Rosh Hashanah you had ever had. A cry from the soul, a bona fide yearning. Who among us can say we share that feeling? I know I can't. On the other hand, we seem to be more obsessed as to whether the Baal Tekeya blew the Tekiyas movement correctly, breathing between Shvarim and Shua. I doubt this will ever concern me again. Hanukkah. You were determined to make it back home for Hanukkah. You knew why, we did not. You sang Haneir Salala this year with extra vigor and joy every night of Hanukkah as you snuggled up next to me as only you knew how. Your writing. Oh, your writing. Brilliant, creative, quirky, and most importantly, honest. In your missives, you guided the perplexed, you counseled, you offered advice, and a shoulder to cry on. But you were always careful to express your limitations. You repeatedly told all who came to seek that you were not a professional therapist. You were careful about not misleading anyone about care they may have needed. Telenym is an app where you can ask questions anonymously, and the user can choose to answer them. You did so prolifically. I encourage all to read what you wrote on this app, pearls of wisdom and compassion. You were brilliant, cogent, informed, helpful, and inspiring. TikTok, another app. Interestingly, you seem to be able to express your talents on TikTok in a way that you were unable to do so in person. But how? But wow. Those videos are awesome, funny, witty, creative, provocative. I urge you all to check out her TikTok channel. You'll not be disappointed. So how can we make sense of that which is devoid of any sense whatsoever? So a friend of mine who had also lost a child sent me the following, which I really connected with. This is brought down in the Yalkut Mamle's Pasha Shoftim. There was a Talmid of the Ramban, Nachmanides Nachmanides Ramban was a Spanish scholar, rabbi, Kabbalist, and doctor. The student was ill. The Ramban came to visit him. The Ramban realized his end was near. He said, Shma beni es asher atzavecha. Listen what I command you to do. You should know. The Ramban told his student, you should know that in the higher world, there is a heichel, a chamber, which is called kisais lemishpat, chairs of judgment. The Shekhinah is there. The Ramban says, here is a kameya, an amulet, which will open all the gates of heaven for you. You are going to get to that chamber, and you're going to ask some serious fundamental questions that I, the Ramban, have about Klal Yisrael, the Jewish nation. And he wrote down the questions. He told his student to come to him in a dream and tell him the answers. The student, the Ramban, was sitting one day, sitting and learning at a window, and suddenly, not even a dream, this student appeared, physically or his form is unclear, and he said, wherever I went, this amulet opened every door until I reached the chamber you had told me to go to. When I gave the questions you prepared for me, I saw clearly that in Shemayim, in heaven, there are no questions at all. The world of truth, there those questions melted away. The Mayam Lo'ez concludes the story quoting the student. There is Amod Dikshait, world of truth. Everything there is tzedek u'mishpat, fairness and justice. In Shemayim, there are no questions. In heaven, there are no questions. But down here below, we indeed have so many questions, and the answers fleeting, nebulous, vague, and unclear. Why? Why would God create a world where we are to service Him and perform mitzvahs, acts of goodness and kindness? Yet there will always be that doubt, that barrier, those challenges, that lack of faith that will make the journey so much more difficult. So as you all know, I'm feeling a little intimidated here sitting next to you trying to address these issues. So as we all know, Chassidus has much to say on this subject. While researching this, I found a story that was said in the name of Rabbi Fischel Zaklis. I felt really connected to the following thought. The Rebbe was once discussing the struggles of life with a teenager. The boy had expressed to the Rebbe that his life was full of anger and disappointment. Why can't it be simple and easy? Why does God make it difficult? The Rebbe answered by comparing angels and humans, photographs and paintings. Angels, malachim, are perfect and flawless, yet one-dimensional, unlike man. Man is multi-dimensional and must struggle. Angels are perfect and obedient. The Rebbe explained the necessity of the struggle by asking the teenager why it is that a photograph is more accurate than a painting, yet a painting can be much more valuable. The teenager answered, well, because most photographs are inanimate, lifeless items. A photo captures a person or a scene as is. A painting, on the other hand, contains the richness of human imagination, the depth of human emotion and creativity. This is what gives a painting its great value. We call it art. The Rebbe smiled and said, well, this is the answer to your question. Angels are photos, while human beings are pieces of art. Angels are flawless and faultless creatures. Like photos, they are perfect depictions of spiritual realities. Like they never err or waver. It is precisely the imperfect drama of human existence, the ever-present conflict between our inner light and darkness, the search for meaning and truth that turns our life, every moment of it, into a piece of valuable art. As painful as this journey is in fact the very purpose of existence. We were placed here to overcome struggle and transform darkness into light. We are enjoined to turn challenge into opportunity, to discover meaning in what seems purposeless and empty. It is only the human who is privileged to invite God to live where God is not obvious and sometimes appears to be unwelcome. To achieve this, we live in a world of chaos and clutter, a world seemingly devoid of clarity. Yet, it is specifically in such a setting where we can grow, thrive, and untap the infinite potential of our soul. Angels are holy, we know that, and they live in that world of truth. It's true, we do not. But angels have a flaw. In the Torah, they are referred to as oimdim, stagnant, static beings. It is the dynamism of a human living in the world of struggle who can expose untapped strength. It is through this challenge and in this darkness that we reveal the resilience of the soul. We are faced with painful and difficult questions that we should not and dare not seek answers to. Rather, we bypass the mind and connect to a supra-rational reality of faith and conviction, allowing us to bring greater meaning and deeper purpose to our lives. We pray daily not to be tested in unusual ways, but when we are, we'll give it our best to respond with newfound power. This is the Ratzon Elyon. This is the world. This is the will of the Creator. Do I believe these words I'm saying? I guess if I say them enough, often enough, I'll believe them more with each passing moment. I do believe that it is not for naught that our family was challenged in this way, and hopefully this tragic event will be a catalyst for good. I hope that Yocheved's legacy will live on. I hope that she will continue to inspire us from her front row seat up on high to be vehicles of good, vessels of positive change. Her passing has awakened in me an increased zeal for goodness, for kindness, something she was a natural at, not me. She got it from Dini. It is our wish that we'll continue having many conversations about her, with her, and about all that she was passionate about. Yocheved, we miss you. I miss you. We had many unfinished conversations. We had unexplored music we had yet to discover. We never got to do that Florida trip. I don't think we completed watching Nurse Ratched or Money Heist together. By the way, the theme song of Money Heist is Bella Ciao. It may be familiar to some of you, but I doubt it. We both love it. Bella Ciao is an Italian tune adopted as an anthem of the anti-fascist resistance by the Italian partisans between 1943 and 1945 during the Italian resistance against the Nazi German forces occupying Italy. Yocheved, you were a resistor. You resisted the status quo. You resisted the mundane. You resisted the ordinary. You craved freedom of spirit. You wished to be free of disease, free of doubt, and free of melancholy. You craved normalcy. You expressed this time and time again in many of the late night conversations we had in my office. You cried your heart out, and you wished for one thing that seemed to always elude you: clarity. In life, you were not able to achieve this. But as mentioned before, in Shemaim, in heaven, there are no questions. And this gives me and us a measure of comfort that your questions are being answered as we speak. I want to conclude with the final paragraph of the final letter Yocheved sent us, and I quote, "Dad, please, for the love of God, don't let this derail you. Your business is about to be absolutely booming, and I'm going to see to it that it is. I'll nudge it along from up high. I have faith in you and your new project. If you can't bring yourself to do it for you, do it for me. Do it for Mom. Do it for Levi and Yehuda. Keep going, because there are people who need you, who would be absolutely devastated if you gave up. Dad, let Mom be your rock. Mom, let Dad be your rock. Levi and Yehuda. Be there for each other. Talk about things. Cry. It's okay. I love you guys so much. So much. Please, please, please do not let this family fall apart, because it's an excellent family. One of our strengths is being able to talk about things. Most families cannot do that, and it's their downfall. So talk. Talk as much as you need to. Talk to each other. Talk to God. Talk to me. I'm listening." Thank you.